Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR today for Friday morning. I almost said December. It feels like December, but it's February 12th, 2021. I'm the man they call Meathead. Linda K is coming up in just a second. It is absolutely still freezing outside. I don't care if we've even gone up 10 degrees. 10 degrees from minus 10 is still zero. I mean, it is freaking cold outside, Mr. Bigglesworth. Let's talk sponsors real quick. Hopefully you're not manscaping too much for this Sunday, when it's Valentine's Day. But, if you're drawing in pizza slices or breadsticks or whatever, you're shaving the British flag on your chest, make sure you're using manscaped.com and getting the Lawnmower 3.0. Use the promo code PWR and save yourself 20%, including the free shipping as well. Plus, our friends at collarandelbowbrand.com as well. Big fans of the PWR, and we're big fans of them as well. PWR 360, the promo code, will save 10% off of everything they got, including the new stuff from the D'Lo Brown. It's the real deal now. Linda K, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, and might I say TGIF?
TGIF indeed. So, we got a lot of stuff popping on the TV finally. It was a weird year in 2020 where, our shows were delayed, concerts weren't happening, but we're getting all this content kind of flying at us now. We're getting like episode 6 of WandaVision tonight. I mean, there's all sorts of stuff happening, especially in the wrestling world.
Absolutely. And of course, our Friday Night Delight Smackdown is on tonight with a huge return.
Yeah. Seth Rollins.
Yes.
We also have some business to handle here, Linda. Let's get into it first.
Okay.
For those listening to the PWR, and again, Linda, I don't know if you heard, I think it was Wednesday morning or Thursday morning show, but what is the deal with all the hole and forbidden doors and then the DP? I don't know if you caught any of that.
Yeah. Also, the whole thing with the Tushy DeBay company photoshopping their T-shirt on Nia Jax, asking her about her hole. Wow. The DP, Charlie Caruso.
She likes DP.
The door. Yes, and then the Forbidden Doors. A lot of shenanigans going on this week just from innuendo in the wrestling world.
It was almost in our endo. I like that kind of humor, but it was too much. I mean, I literally felt like it was overload, where you had Beavis and Butthead playing in the back of your head for, 24 straight hours, just go, hole, whoa.
I did pop when Matthew asked you if you wrote Raw the night before or whatever.
Right, exactly. Whoa. You did a good Butthead there. Do that again. That's not bad. I'm pretty happy with that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah. All right. Let's talk about what we also were watching this week. And we've been meaning to get to this. And full disclosure, it was me that hadn't got to it yet because you had already watched these. I want to talk about the documentaries that are on Day Of and Icons. Let's do AJ Styles first, the Day Of. Linda, your thoughts of the AJ Styles Day Of Royal Rumble? Because, I mean, it literally not only was the Day Of the Royal Rumble debut that he had, the last really big debut in the wrestling world, and this was now 5-6 years ago. I think it was 5 years ago, 2016. But the last real big name to kind of debut in the WWE, and he debuted at the Royal Rumble. We saw his beginnings. We saw him work his way through TNA. We saw him make his way over to Ring of Honor, the Bullet Club, and finally, is he coming? Is he coming? Is he coming? And boom, AJ Styles is phenomenally in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, it was really great to see his journey. A lot of us were familiar with the other promotions and federations, whatnot, his world travels and successes, but not getting to know everything too in detail. I honestly didn't know too much about AJ Styles. Obviously, I saw his work in TNA. I think obviously that's when the masses got to know more about Alan Jones.
I think it was WCW stuff.
Oh, that's right. Yes. But for me personally, I personally knew a lot about him through TNA, and that was great to see the footage from all the different promotions, just kind of putting everything together, really helping tell that story, and just hearing it from himself about how the journey to WWE came about. And remember those rumors, like, will or
I
won't
do
he?
remember that. The picture with Finn
Debut.
Balor outside the Performance Center, I remember specifically.
Mm-hmm. So that was just really great to see, and it just get that feeling back, that excitement we had when he debuted. And as you mentioned, it was the last biggest and longest lasting debut, I think, of a major star, meaning, just his accolades since debuting,
Yeah.
just how much he's still obviously involved and used in just the different storylines, and just still the excitement of him having there as a major star, and how much
Former
the rest
multi-time world champion. I mean,
just how much the fans really love him and embrace him, and just the different ways they've used AJ Styles just works.
yeah.
I loved seeing the journey. I loved it.
Absolutely love it. No Claire Lynch, but and again, I keep making this pun about Claire Lynch from TNA.
Yeah.
That storyline with Dixie and AJ was not phenomenal. Here's the irony of all this. And this is way back in the PWR days, when we went down to interview him, I think it was Damien and I talked to him at. We talked to him, I think it was the Thursday when they were doing their first live television show in the Universal Studios Arena, the weekend of WrestleMania 24. And we apparently owe him a bunch of nickels, because every time we said phenomenal, we had to hit the bell, ding, and then he expected like residual checks at the end of the year. We brought it up a few years later when we were doing ESPN. He goes, wait, you're the guys that owe me the money, aren't you? Aren't you the guys that are supposed to hit ding and pay me? No. Yeah, that was us. Talk to Damien in the Amex card, apparently.
That's, dare I say, phenomenal.
Yeah. So it was good stuff, and it was AJ's been amazing, and he's been amazing to watch. And again, I do remember Air Raid from WCW. How can I have a Twitter handle WCW Meathead and not remember what happened, even in the poorest of times in the late 2000s of WCW? So,
right.
No, it was great to watch. And, with the exception of maybe Ronda Rousey, who didn't move on to do bigger things for longer time. Yeah, AJ Styles is pretty much the last big name to have this big debut, because anybody else that's come through the company now has had to go through NXT. AJ Styles was the exception. And it's great to see him still kind of just pushing on. I mean, a minor injury here and there, but this dude is a workhorse.
Absolutely. And just anybody that's, he's aligned with and partnered with, it works. I mean, him and Omos are a great partnership as well, and he brings hilarity into it as well. And yeah,
AJ's played different roles back and forth, and I think there's still much more for him to do. Now, when he came into WWE, wasn't a spring chicken in the wrestling world, right? He was already seasoned, but I mean, there's so much more I think for him to do in WWE. Now let's talk about another guy who came in and didn't spend a ton of time in the company, but had a huge impact, no pun intended, to AJ. But it was the Yokozuna Icon. I did not realize the runtime was damn near 90 minutes long, but what an amazing piece. I was happy to see on there one of the main characters on this particular documentary was our boy, Rikishi. All you had to do was meet him once, and this guy is amazing. Just to hear him talk, he had me connected to the whole thing. I loved listening to him talk. I loved listening to him talk about Rodney, otherwise known as Yokozuna. And, the story of Yokozuna putting heat in Rikishi's house so he could have, he just got his first house, spent everything on it. And he literally, I almost lost it right there, too. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. Hearing his family just talk about how great of a man he was.
Yeah.
Outside of his wrestling characters, and how much family meant to him, and him giving his all. I mean, literally a lot of, just to make sure that they could have heat, just to make sure they can live well. And there was just so much that you learned about Rodney Yokozuna. A lot of things that I didn't know, and then pinpointing things that, a lot of people didn't find out till later on, just exactly. I mean, for example, him not actually being Japanese, like that. I found that out way later in my life, and I'm like, whoa, no clue. But that shows how well, he played into that character. But just learning, obviously, his challenges outside the ring as well, with his weight and dieting. Just finding out more about, ultimately led, fortunately, to his death. I just didn't know all the details, and it was just it was great to see how everything, just his upbringing, the love with the family, just how great of a person he was. Yes, how great of a father he was. And
yeah,
it was nice to see all of that and learn about everything. Obviously sad to learn, of everything that led to his passing, but just obviously the documentaries put together by WWE are phenomenal. Sorry that I said it again, but just getting a replay of the stories that he was, watching from my childhood, things that I'm now learning as an adult that I didn't know as a kid, and just believing everything I saw. And it just, wow, just the footage of WrestleManias and learning so much more about him. It was great.
I want to talk about WrestleMania 9.
Mm-hmm.
The family was so proud. This is the story being told to us. The family was so proud. I think he said that they were about 200 strong at WrestleMania 9. And WrestleMania 9 was at Caesar's Palace, which held maybe 10,000. I don't know.
Yeah, this held 10, 11,000. Yeah.
So there's a lot of Samoans walking around that building, boy. But I remember it vividly that it was the things that I remember outside of this story was it was the first Jim Ross pay-per-view. It was the the Greek theme with the togas. It was Bobby Heenan backwards on a camel.
Yep.
Macho Man doing commentary, right? Mm-hmm. What I didn't realize is going before it, and I don't know why Macho was doing commentary, but Macho was the one that made it down to the last two at the Royal Rumble for the first ever winner of the Rumble goes to WrestleMania, right? So Yokozuna threw Macho out from his back, which is amazing. What an amazing spot that is. Mm-hmm. But I also remember Hogan walking away with the belt at this pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm. I remember Bret Hart outside the ring telling him, go.
Go.
Yeah. And now we know a lot more about it.
I find it funny that Hogan would still talk in this documentary when basically the people that are talking about Hogan shit on him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for lack of a better term, let me just put it out there clear. And Hogan, being Hulk Hogan, says, brother, that's all you need to know about Hulk Hogan right there. I've never met the man. I'm not going to talk ill will of him, but Bret said it, Roman said it, and even, Brother Love said it. We joke, it's obviously Bruce Pritchard, but how he got in Vince's ear and said, you know what? I know this is Yoko's day and he's going to win the belt, but go ahead and give me the belt. I don't know what I was doing. Maybe I was, but I was going to leave. So give me the belt. Come on, man. Mm-hmm. That was a huge mistake. He says, well, I'm going to go. So why don't you just have, Yoko chase me again and then win again? What's that got to do with anything? You should have had that monster heel the whole time. He should have went WrestleMania to WrestleMania. And that's literally what happened, folks. If you weren't paying attention to this, Hogan took the belt from him at the pay-per-view, carried it up to whatever the next pay-per-view was, I think King of the Ring, and then carried it all the way to next WrestleMania. Hogan did not need that belt from April to June. What did he need it for?
Yeah, I mean, not much more was said about that in the documentary, but it did just left a sour taste about the whole situation.
Kind of like when Undertaker beat Hogan at Survivor Series, and then Hogan had to beat him again 2 days later.
Yeah.
Why? So that's what I took away from that small segment in there. That's what I took away from it. The positive stuff that I also took away from is, boy, I wish I could have just been around Duke because he seemed like he was a ball of laughs. I mean, again, we've talked to Rikishi, and even said, I don't know if I don't know what you were doing. I think you were somewhere in the room, but post Blizzard Brawl, the last one that we did, I sat at the table with Godfather and Rikishi the entire night, and I'm telling you, I lost it when they started talking about turkey ass. Do you know what I'm talking about in the documentary, the turkey ass?
Yes.
Okay. So Kishi kept telling his story about turkey ass over and over and over, just turkey ass. Oh, that's the good stuff. That's the good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, turkey ass? Who's eating the ass of a turkey? I mean, this was literally almost a 20-minute conversation on turkey ass. And then I'm like, wait a minute. What was that Eddie Murphy movie? Norbit, yeah. Norbit loved him some turkey ass. I guess there's a lot of flavor in the butt. So, I mean, I don't know, but that's what they were eating. He's eating 14, 15, 16 turkey asses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I sorry, when you mentioned it, I had to think about that again because it was been a little bit since I've seen the documentary.
Well, that's why I kind of went on a little bit about turkey ass. I was hoping that it was triggering your memory there.
Yes, it does. Well, a lot of flavors, they say, like, with the bone, so why not the butt?
I guess. But I lost it there because, again, I just go back to not last year's Blizzard Brawl because there wasn't one, but the year before, and having Kishi and Godfather just talking about turkey ass, inviting everybody over to Rikishi's house to have turkey ass. I bet she makes a good broth.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe we should knock it till we try it. I don't know.
I guess. I mean, if Kishi invited me over to the house, I'd have to eat me some turkey ass. Because I'm not going to eat the food the man's preparing. So, oh, brother Kishi and that turkey, but I don't know. I just wanted to say turkey ass one more time. So, turkey ass. But it was very heartbreaking. Here's the other thing I pulled away too, and not to take us down too far a note here, but watching them after they did the part where he died in London, and again, I apologize. It was either Seeker or Afa, but saying it was my fault. It was my fault. That's just that strong family thing. Brother, it was not your fault. It was what it was. Rodney, Yoko, he ate, and he just ate and ate and ate. Mark Henry even said it very clearly, when he was his, not his young boy, because, again, I can't stand that term, by the way. But when it was his go for, when he was coming up into business, hey, yo, Mark, go get me a bucket of chicken. When Yoko had to go to Duke, and it's funny because who Gilbert Brown is. Gilbert Brown apparently went to that hospital as well, and that's what, got him up and running, right? Because Gilbert Brown, the gravedigger from the Green Bay Packers Super Bowl champions, he went down to Duke, and they really took care of him as well. And I kept thinking the same thing. Man, if Yokozuna would have just went there and maybe followed the program, maybe we'd still see Yokozuna to this day working. Who knows?
Yeah.
But apparently there he had people sneaking in buckets of chicken. So I don't know. But all in all, well done documentary. And I look forward to Beth Phoenix, Lex Luger. But I really look forward to, and it's not somebody that's really had one done yet on him, Rob Van Dam.
All of these. You just can't wait to see just the other side. Yeah. What we don't know, what we're surprised to find out. Definitely looking forward to all of them.
Looking forward to them. All right. Let's talk about a little bit of Smackdown. Yeah. Tonight, the return of the Friday night Messiah, Seth Rollins. Will he join up with Baron Corbin and go after the Mysterios?
Gosh, I hope not.
I hope not. Being facetious, folks.
I know. I really hope that there's just a brand new program that they put Seth Rollins in, because why not? They can start from scratch, new clean slate with Rollins' return. We know that Dominic and Ray, the whole Mysterio family will be there. I mean, we've seen Murphy away from TV for a while. We haven't seen Aaliyah. I'm not really sure, but I really feel like they can do something new. This is still technically the road. I mean, the road to WrestleMania.
We're on that road.
Yeah, and Seth Rollins definitely a draw, huge draw. So they can get something rolling, a new program with somebody new that could go all the way to WrestleMania, because I mean, Mania is only like a month and a half away, or 2 months maybe.
We've only got 5 pay-per-views left.
Well, besides that, you can really stretch things out. Hey, if they can stretch the Rollins Mysterio storyline for almost a year, they can stretch storyline to Mania in 2 months.
Okay, let's talk NXT Vengeance Day real quick. This Valentine's Day, Sunday. Here's the matches. Main event, Finn Balor and Pete Dunne. This will be a knock 'em out. This will be a physical match, and I'm really excited. I hope he doesn't break any more fingers, but I'm really looking forward to Pete Dunne. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you're looking for Pete Dunne. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Pete Dunne and Finn Balor, and they're going to kick the crap out of each other. While they can do the catch as catch can, they also can be just literal strikers all day long. And They're laying them in stiff. The women's championship is on the line. Io Shirai taking on Toni Storm versus Mercedes Martinez, a triple threat match. Shirai, Storm, and Martinez. North American champion Johnny Gargano against Kushida. The 2 tag team tournaments will have winners. The finals are this Sunday. Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. Versus Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. And then on the men's side, MSK taking on Grizzled Young Veterans. Give me some winners, Linda.
Ooh, I will go with the Grizzled Young Veterans. I feel that if they're going to be in the finals in the Dusty Cup in 2 years in a row, they got to give it to them this time. And MSK, great high flyers, but still very new to the company. I think the shine on them was their road to getting to where they are now. And we'll have the Grizzled Young Veterans as the Dusty Cup winners.
Okay.
For the women,
Moon and Blackheart, Gonzalez and Dakota.
I gotta say Raquel and Dakota, just because they've already been a team together a lot longer. I want to see them.
These are the first ever women's classic finals.
Yeah, I want to see them being the top tag team because I feel that Raquel Gonzalez, I've seen her do interviews outside of, what she gets to say on TV. Yeah. And I believe she's a great talker, and I want to see her get the mic more and have more shine, more light on them, and get to be more of have a talking role. So I feel just their chemistry together, being a tag team longer, that they'd win the Women's Cup.
What about Johnny Wrestling and Kushida?
I love Gargano, and he's been so hilarious. I kind of, they've really been pushing Kushida. However, just putting together the way and how great that faction is, and just how great and hilarious Gargano is being a champ right now. It's kind of a toss-up to me, but I feel that they'll keep it on Gargano going all the way to Mania. He's a strong champ. Johnny Wrestling, I think we're going to have him retain as North American champion. And then the triple threat match, right? The ladies?
Yeah, Io, Toni, and Mercedes.
I like Io Shirai as the champion. She's been very strong, but I think that it might go to Toni Storm. And here's why. She made that huge return, or, just from, the UK now to NXT here. And they've really been pushing her, showing her strong points. And I think it's her time to shine right now in NXT. And, a program between her and Rhea Ripley, if Rhea doesn't move up to, or
I think Rhea Ripley's moved up. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. They have their thing. I just feel like that could be, if for some reason she's not, that could be something that I can roll through all the way to Mania, but I don't foresee that happening. But I feel that it'll go to Toni Storm. They can build something new around her with the title. Sure. And then with the men, I do like Pete Dunne, and I think he's very strong, but I just feel that they got to keep it on Balor and a little bit longer at least. He made his return from the jaw injury not too long ago. We saw him.
And he's continued to hold on to the belt too.
Right. He had a great program with Kyle O'Reilly, which I feel there's still some unfinished business there. I think they can put a great program with Pete Dunne as well, with anybody really. But I think between the three of them, perhaps, maybe a triple threat down the line for the title. Maybe we got the pay-per-views coming up. I don't know if they'll get another. I know you guys talked about that. Will there be an NXT Takeover Mania? I'm not sure about that either, but I just feel that there's still some unfinished business between Balor and O'Reilly, and we got to keep it on Balor. See where that goes. I think
so too. Yeah. I'm going to run down mine real quick. Balor, Toni Storm, because she's going to take the place of Rhea Ripley. I think that she's taking the Rhea Ripley slot. Obviously there's not slots in places. Everybody's their own thing, but I think she fills in nicely there. So in an upset, Toni Storm. Johnny Wrestling keeps it. I think it's Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart because they're colorful enough that they can do more with them and make them a team. And I think it's MSK. I think they're 2-time classic finals competitors, but I don't think they win it. I think they give it to MSK and let them go ahead and, really jump off on it.
Oh, very nice.
We've got one more thing of business to handle, Linda. So you're not off the hook yet. I did a swerve on you at the beginning. I said, all right, Linda, we got stuff to talk about. And then I went off to something else.
I talked about SmackDown because we talked about Friday.
We're talking about the Waffle House.
Linda. Okay. Yes.
We're talking about the Waffle House. Tell us what happened down at the Waffle House in Louisville or the Ville.
Well, I know Matthew Thomas really wants to hear a detailed recap, but he said that was my first trip to the Waffle House, but actually my first visit was in Atlanta, the ATL for WrestleMania 27. That was my first Waffle House experience. That one was the late night experience, the Waffle House. That one was the one where I don't remember everything. It was a great night. No, it was the first night in, and that was more of the Waffle House experience at, a late night.
Yeah.
Lots of food and just shenanigans overall.
What about the jukebox? What about because I don't know if you heard Matthew say that he went to play music and the guy didn't like his music so much he played his cell phone louder.
I don't recall from that Atlanta experience what music was playing. However, this past trip in Louisville, we did go to a Waffle House, but honestly, it was like a brunch. There wasn't music playing, no shenanigans. I did have to get a waffle in the end. It was a waffle, nothing too exciting. However, there was music playing toward the end, and I do remember it was Fergalicious. I don't know who played it.
Yeah, that's my theme song. That's what I used to come to the ring to. Kidding.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't come to that.
But we were at one point the only patrons in there. I mean, obviously at different times now, or not as many diners are out, but it was just during the week, during the day. I can't say anything crazy happened because it didn't. Sorry, Matthew. But if you wanted to hear what was on the jukebox, it was Fergie.
Okay.
And I did have a waffle. Oh, duh. I did want to try something that I've never tried before, and that was a hash brown bowl. And
a hash brown bowl?
Yes. You know how there's protein bowls, burrito bowls, and
sure,
insert
where you eat
bowls.
the bowl. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I've never seen a hash brown bowl on a menu, let alone one where instead of just having your choices of bacon or sausage and cheese to top it off, they had cheese steak as a topping for one of the bowls. Yes. And that was tremendous. It was very, very good, I will say. I liked it a lot more than my waffle, actually. So it was a cheese steak and cheese hash brown bowl. Yeah.
I'm going to get people raising their eyeballs at me, but the only time I've gone to a Waffle House, it was down in Florida visiting a friend, and it was for breakfast. And then I got in there, I'm like, what kind of grits do you want? I'm like, grits? Oh, God, no. What's wrong with you and grits? I will not eat grits. Do you eat grits?
I've had it, but I don't typically get it. I did see grits on the menu, of course. I did not get it, but
you know what grits reminded me of? Have you seen The Hangover 2?
Yes, but that one I didn't see too much. Like the first part. What did
the father call Ed Helms? Jope. He called him Jope. It was like a white pasty food. We feed it to the babies and the elderly. You're bland, no flavor. That's what grits look like to me. It was Jope.
Oh.
Just nothing. So, ugh. No thanks. But if somebody tells me I have to have grits with this, and this, then all the grits is a delivery system for the stuff that you eat anyway. I don't need the damn grits.
I got you.
So, hey, that was pretty much a cornucopia of everything that we talked about over the week, all kind of wrapped up into a nice little bow. A nice and tidy 28 and a half minutes. That's okay, though. Folks, thank you for joining us all week long. We enjoyed it. We had a huge spike in not viewership, but listenership and downloads. And again, it's always appreciated. Like, comment, share. Make sure you're subscribing as well. Hit that button because it's helping. We've had a huge spike. I will put some of the credit to the Matthew Thomas stuck in snow story. That was part of it, but it's growing. And as we're making our way towards WrestleMania, share with your friends. And if you love the shenanigans of Linda K, Matthew Thomas, and the man they call Meathead, hey, make sure you let your friends know. So for Linda K, I'm the man they call Meathead. This has been the week of PWR. So long, everyone.